Don't you hate when feminists and leftists confront societal problems when other larger problems exist? This happens all the time, like when this feminist that I hate follow pointed out entrenched forms of gender subjugation, and yet was completely silent when I tweeted her 20 times in a minute asking about the Middle East. Then there are those campaigners who fight for marriage equality or something, but are completely silent when it comes to ISIS. It's all first world problems, am I right? We should quit complaining about the smaller problems whilst there are larger ones. There's a good old quote for this. I used to lament having no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. Can't remember who said that, it was probably a starving African child or something. What these people are failing to respect is the hierarchy of problems. Yes, feminists, our society and language constantly subjugates women and whatever, but you can't really complain about that whilst there's still murder and Saudi Arabia and Ed Sheeran. Actually, no, I was being insincere, that's why I was mirrored this whole time. We call this shit the fallacy of relative privation. Except privation is a really annoying word because it's got like two emphasized syllables right next to each other, and I wish it were privation, but if I just go around saying privation, then people will just think I don't know the word privation. If you like normal words, we call it the appeal to worse problems. It's dishonest diversionary derailment, aiming to ignore problems just by saying they're not the biggest one. I've never seen someone making this argument and then actually campaigning about the bigger problems they cite, because they tend to prefer when foreign cultures only exist as a rhetorical distraction from their ideal of nothing ever getting better. If we pretend that anyone ever means it, which you have to do sometimes in debate, then this approach implies that we should solve all of our problems one by one in descending order of magnitude. Tick them off one at a time, then you can move on to the next. So like genocide, epidemics, inhumane farming, onesies. It may start off slow, but after a few millennia the word literally will be misused for the last time and we will have built our utopia. Literally. I guess my approach in activism, by which I mean arguing on the internet, has been to focus on issues culturally close to me, like a bloody torturist. It's justifiable though, it's using your voice where it will be heard. That's efficient activism. I roughly know my lifespan, if all goes to plan. I want to use it well. Global issues are terrifying and I really hope we can solve them. But then, homophobia, sexism and racism in the UK, or in my true home nation, the Anglophone internet, there's something we can kind of mostly quash in 2 or 3 generations if we really try. Meanwhile, we all hope to help solve the larger issues if we have a way. Look in los dos. You know, if you're still into appealing to worse problems, you are right. We should solve society's biggest problem first. We just forgot what it is. The biggest problem is people thinking this way and impeding societal progress by denouncing any struggle that doesn't have the highest top trump score. Let's get rid of that first.